Well, hello, you gorgeous mother truckers and fellow rebels, and welcome to another video. So, we've had all the videos of the two-tier policing and how the police are stamping down on people who rioted, which, if you committed a violent attack, fair enough, but, you know, also people who weren't doing nothing good but shouting and gesticulating and apparently in one case being abusive to a police dog. And also mainly hitting people who spread false misinformation on the internet, because obviously what happened in Southport where those three beautiful women got stabbed to death, which of course he's not being fast tracked. We got to wait till January next year before he gets to come up. So they're hoping it'll all quieten down. So we can fast track everybody apart from the guy who initially, in reality, sparked all this off. He did. But the other thing is because of the name that was put up out on the social medias, which was picked up. Even I did it, although I did say at the time, take this with a huge pinch of salt. But, information was coming out and people are going to report it. So, far right. It's you far right thugs. It's the EDL. It's everything and anyone and the bogeyman and the Russians and everybody else who, Nigel Farage, Tommy Robinson, all these names thrown out there are the ones that instigated and caused the riots to flare, and it's all them that did it, that and the other. Well, it kind of turns out that that was, a lie. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The person who said the most misinformation and who actually started it was actually a man in Pakistan. Let's play the article and you can have a listen.
The police in Pakistan have arrested a man called Farhan Asif under provisions of counter-cyber terrorism. Now, he's been linked to a now defunct website called Channel Free Now, which hours after the Southport stabbings posted an article publishing a false name of the alleged attacker.
So he wasn't even living here. So it wasn't the EDL, it wasn't the far right, it wasn't Nigel Farage, it wasn't Tommy Robinson. It was somebody in Pakistan. Not the Russians, Pakistan. So the information which some people were being punished on was actually a lie. It hadn't come from any far right organisation. It had come from some dude in Pakistan.
Now, a police document from Pakistan has been shared with Sky News, and in that it says the said article contained a false claim about the arrest of a Muslim asylum seeker in the stabbing incident in a dance party in Southport on July 29th, 2024. The false claim, widely shared on social media, spurred the far-right section into violent rioting.
Well, that's actually not true. It was people who were basically really, really annoyed that three children had just been stabbed and murdered right in front of them. But whatever fits that motive, but they're still trying to say it's the far right. No, this was all spread by a guy in Pakistan. And the actual reason why people were actually annoyed and having to go in the first place was nothing to do with that. And everything to do with the fact that somebody had just been stabbed. Three children have been stabbed and they've been brutally murdered, and people are going to look for answers. And as the police and government won't provide you those answers, people are going to look for answers. And as it turns out, a bad actor living in Pakistan.
So this is from a document given to Sky News from the police in Pakistan. Now, the document goes on to say that Mr. Asif confessed his guilt, according to this piece of information, and said that he runs the account to share national, meaning in Pakistan, and also international news to his following, and that he picked up the alleged information citing the incorrect name from another account on social media.
All right, so he got arrested for it, but it was somebody else.
Now, as we know, we had a wave of civil disorder in the UK that came about as a result of what we saw happen in Southport. And
yes, there you go. Sky News, well done. Actual reporting. Not far right. It was actually a reaction to the stabbing of 3 beautiful young girls.
Since then, we know that police have made over 1,000 arrests.
Which, of course, interrupting, of course, the Home Office have called criminals. So they're all guilty before a trial. Yeah.
Be specific, 1,165 arrests.
Wow, and they're boasting about that.
As a result of the misinformation that was spread just some weeks ago. Over half of those arrests have resulted in charges.
And the others have been told to sit down, shut up, and don't you dare say anything ever again. So they've been bullied into silence.
And in total, 302 police officers were injured over the course of the 2 weeks that we saw those riots ensue. So all we understand in part related to some misinformation that has come from the police.
So there you go. So the information came from Pakistan. At least the reporter was right there and saying, it wasn't that. It was the fact that 3 beautiful little girls had been slaughtered and many others injured at a party by somebody born in Cardiff who, for some unknown reason, won't be fast-tracked and we'll have to wait till January next year to hear anything. Yeah. Funny that. And it makes you wonder what they're trying to hide. But the simple truth of the matter is, what the police have to understand, what the government has to understand, is if something happens, it is better to be more open and honest and truthful. Because if you're open and honest and truthful and tell people what happened and how it happened and who did it, then you are less likely to be swept up with misinformation. But because whenever it's a non-white, and this is not me just going and inciting, no. If it's a white person who commits a crime, it's instantly all over the place. So if it's not all over the place, we know something's been hidden. And if you hide something and you won't give any information, people are going to go looking for information. And then they're going to get information that they can see hundreds and thousands of other people are saying, this is it. And automatically presume it's the truth. When I reported the name, I actually said, take it with a massive pinch of salt, because it wasn't, it wasn't guaranteed. But the thing is, when you see a piece of information that is being shared by hundreds of thousands, now the reason that information is being shared by hundreds of thousands of people is because you, the main government and the police, won't say anything at all. You say the instant trope, which is, oh, well, it's not terror related. Now, a second you say that, everybody goes non-white. Because traditionally, that's what's said. Now, if you were honest and come out and said, we've arrested so-and-so for this offence, fine. So give me sorry. Fine. Yeah? And then, although it might cause a bit of problems, at least you're being honest. At least you aren't allowing false news to propagate over the internet because you don't say anything. We have the usual tropes. You know when it's a non-white person committing the crime because the lines, not suspected terrorism, comes out. And the other famous line is, so-and-so is arrested with mental health issues. We know. Look, I've said this many, many times before. If the simple truth of the matter is anyone who commits a violent assault, anyone who stabs anyone who kills anyone, clearly isn't mentally stable to start with. So they've all got mental health issues. But it's funny how when one demographic does it, it's a mental health issue. And when the other side do it, it's because they're a far-right thug. Two-tier Britain. I'm not going to say two-tier police and two-tier... It's not. We are now living literally in a two-tier Britain. We have a protected society and everybody else. And the everybody else is about 80% of the population. The other 20% are the rich and members of Alan Snack Bar, who now, thanks to Keir Starmer, who said we will protect the Muslim community, are a protected society, are a protected community. who the police will bend over backwards to appease. Any case, enough of that. I'm done. So, until the next one.
In this once great nation, eroded by time, with its crushed